Right, I just want to talk about why I think this mindset of winning the lottery or desiring to win the lotteries is a very negative mindset to have, a very weak mindset to have. Basically, because I've went through it many times in my life. Pretty much when I turned 16, I always had this idea that I would win it. But in hindsight, looking back, it was always from a negative mindset or a desperate mindset. I went through periods in my life where I've even tried to visualize it or use goal cards to try and bring it about, I guess, some sort of manifestation or whatever. But as I kept doing it over the years, I came to realize how much of a negative mindset you must be in. Every time I desired to win the lottery, I'd always be in a bad place mentally. I'd always be desperate to win it. It was almost like I was trying to escape something. It was always a form of escapism. So I just want to talk about why I think this is a negative mindset. Mainly because I see a lot of people having the goal or believing they can win the lottery. It's just a matter of believing or whatever. But I always think it comes from a place of lack. It comes from a place of bad mental health, basically. Because in my own personal circumstance, I would always desire it when I was having a tough time. It was a part, I'd want to escape the life I was currently living. Because I didn't like my life at the time. It was always a form of dreaming, where I could just sit and dream and imagine what it would be like. Because I hated my current reality, I hated my current life. So I'd look at lottery winners, I'd dream about winning it, I'd write goals down thinking that I was going to win it. But I always feel like it's focusing on a destination, focusing on being wealthy, winning millions. But really, life's all about the journey. You need a destination, obviously, but without the journey, it's pretty meaningless. You always see lottery winners, people who do win it, vast majority of them end up blowing it or go through some terrible life experiences or have some problems, family problems, etc. Mainly because they've skipped the journey part of it. Usually when someone's that wealthy, they've built up over the years the skills, the abilities, the mindset to be able to handle that type of wealth. I always feel like when you're desiring to win the lottery, it's always oh, I want the destination without the journey. It's like wanting to travel to Australia or around the world in 24 hours, but without going on the plane. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It's not possible. You need to go through the journey. The journey is the important part. It's the key part. It's the man you become that is able to deserve or attract that wealth. That's the key. Because if you win the lottery, you're not exactly the man who deserves or has the skills, the mindset to handle that type of wealth. So I just want to talk from my own experience. I went through a few times where I just had this mindset or desire to win it, but it always came from a place of desperation or escapism. So if you've ever experienced it, or whenever you think about it or have this desire to win the lottery, just remember, try and observe your own mental health. Try and observe what emotions you're feeling when you desire it. Is it a form of desperation? Is it a form of escapism? Are you just trying to escape your current reality because you're not enjoying it? What I would say for me personally was focus on changing that part of your life that you're trying to escape. And once you do that, you never really want to win it anymore. I don't want to, because I want the journey. I want all the highs and lows of life. I don't want to be super wealthy overnight because I wouldn't be able to cope with it right now. No way would I be able to cope with it right now. But I want the journey. I want to become the man who's able to handle that type of wealth. So yeah, basically, whenever those thoughts and desires come, just check where you are. Change whatever you don't like about your life. Stop escaping it, and you won't desire to escape it anymore because you'll enjoy it. So that's just my thoughts on that kind of mindset.